Very good morning, guys. Yeah. So lastly, we have been talking about. We started up a discussion about Ajax, right? So what is that? Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. So what is Ajax? As I was telling you about this one, generally there is a problem with this. What like when you want to reload a page, like I said you an example also. Refresh the cricket score. I want to refresh the cricket score. If at all you want to refresh the cricket score, what should happen? The reload. The reload should happen. But what is the drawback of the reload? The reload will roll out the top to bottom of the page now. Top to bottom of the page. And reloading top to bottom of the page is going to be a problem. Okay. That means the user experience will be very bad. The user experience will be very bad. The user feels bad like when the page reloads every time. The user experience will be very bad here. And to overcome this particular problem, they designed us a technique called as Ajax, asynchronous JavaScript and XML. What exactly is it? It's not a new concept here. It's not nothing in new technology. It's not a new technology. Existing technologies used in a new way. Understand me correctly. Ajax is not a new technology. What is it, sir? Then we are using some existing technologies in a new way. That's it. What it contains, HTML, JavaScript, okay, DOM, all these things only will be present. Nothing new here. But we are going to use all these things combined together in a new way, and that's what we call as Ajax. Okay, listen. Ajax, Ajax is a technique for creating fast and dynamic web pages. It is cross-platform technology which speeds up response time. Speeds up the response time because without posting back the whole page, it is going to post only partial page, only a part of a page. I want only a particular section to update. Arivar, you want to update only a particular section. What is the point of posting the whole page now? Just this part, if I can update, that's over. Okay. Ajax allows web pages to be updated asynchronously. Asynchronously. Hope you're watching, you watched up the multi-threading videos. Multi-threading, what it talks about, asynchronous communication. Some actions in the foreground, some actions in the background, more than one action going to be performed here. That's what we call asynchronous. In Ajax, if you just recollect about this multi-threading, this concept is also same. Performing multiple actions parallelly. Okay, so this is also same asynchronously by exchanging small amount of data with the server. By exchanging small amount of data with the server behind the screen. This means it is possible to update parts of the web page without the whole page being updated. Did you catch my point or not? So not updating the whole page. What are you updating? Part of the page. You're updating part of the page. Ajax is not a single technology, but rather a group of technologies combined together. A group of technologies are combined together. Like what? HTML and CSS for presentation. You see, if you contact the server here and get some information from the server, now the data should be shown to you or not? And to show the data, what it uses HTML and CSS. Second one, the document object model for dynamic data display and interaction with the data. Basically, in your HTML classes, you might be learned about the concept of the DOM, document object model. The hierarchy of the things, window object, document object, and the hierarchy is what we call as DOM. Okay, and basically these all objects are used for updating up the screens here. Third one, JSON or XML for the interchange of data. Actually, the data has to be transferred from browser to server, server to browser. Yes or not? Browser to server, server to browser. To transport the data from browser to server and server to browser, it uses JSON or XML. JSON or XML. Don't worry, we'll talk about this XML in detail going forward. XML stands for Extensible Markup Language. Extensible Markup Language. So basically, it is a presentation language. What is HTML? HTML is a formatting language. XML is a describing language. XML is a describing language. What is the describing language? Generally, in XML, you will be putting some data like this. You'll be having some data like this. Employee by employee. Under that, ID 101 by ID. Name, some name, Scott by name. Job, manager by job. Salary by salary. This is how the data will be represented. Anyone looking into this, you understand here, anyone looking into this will clearly understand here. What is it? This is the data of some employee that contains ID, name, job, salary. See, understand here, it is describing the data. What is it doing? Describing the data. Right now, we have only one employee data here. I want to represent one more employee. One more time. 102, some name, some Suresh. Salesman. Some 25,000 is the salary. So now two employees are there. So to represent them, what do you write? Employees. By employees. See, looking at this, you'll understand here. The first tag, what is the first tag? Employees. What it tells you? This is information of some employees. Second tag, information of an employee. What is this? ID, name, job, and salary of the employee. Again, second employee. And what does this tells you? End of the employee. Yes or not? And this tells you, that's what XML is. Describing language. Basically, it uses this XML for exchanging the data between client and server. From the browser to server and server to browser, information will be transferred in this particular format. I just give an employee as an example. Tomorrow you can transfer something, whatever you transfer, exactly it will represent it. Okay. So what is used? XML or JSON. XML or JSON. What is JSON? XML is a technique that was introduced around 2000 for exchanging the data between systems. I'll tell you a good example. See, you have some data on your system in a table. I'm asking you, can you please send me the data? Now tell me, you learned SQL Server now. Can you attach the table in a mail and send me? Answer, yaar. Why you put a sad face? I don't understand. I really looking at your faces and get boring here. I asked you something and put sad face like this. What is that? Yeah, learning now. Answer the question. Can you send the table as an attachment? Not possible now. You cannot send. Then how to send it? One of the classical mechanism what the industry uses for transporting the data is using Excel. All this data gets copied into Excel. In SQL Server, maybe you know this or not known. When you right click on a table, you'll have an option called as export. When you use that export option, it'll ask you export to what? You can choose Excel and you can export the data now. Are you clear? All the data will be copied into Excel, and that Excel document can be sent as a mail attachment now. But problem with Excel is Excel works only on Windows. But tomorrow, someone is working on a Linux machine, someone is working on a Mac machine. Problem now. Are you clearer or not? It is a problem now when a information is going to be present for a differences, because Excel doesn't work on Linux, Excel doesn't work on Mac. So to overcome this problem, they introduced XML. They introduced your XML. XML is a text, and you already know text is platform independent. The same thing we discussed for HTML also. Now the data is in which format? Text format. Platform independent. From Windows to Linux, Linux to Mac, from anywhere to anywhere you can transport. But problem with XML is every value has a head and a tail tags. See, 102, it has a header tag, it has a tail tag. For every value here, you'll have a tail tags like this. Going forward, actually XML came somewhere in 2000. Going forward, from the last 5-6 years, they replaced this XML with a new concept called as JSON. What is that? Now also it will be in a JSON format like this. Like this, man. Open the, you'll have the curly braces, and inside of this curly braces, the values will be present like this. How? ID 101. Okay, comma, name, Scott. This is how the value will be present now. This is called as JSON. Job, manager. Okay, next, salary 50,000. This is one record. You want another record, comma, and you add now 102. Some name, Smith. Okay, something like a clerk, salary of 5,000. Understood? This is called JSON. Which one is simple? JSON. Earlier we used to use XML, and right now these XMLs are completely getting replaced with JSON. We are replacing this XML with JSON today. Are you getting me? Okay. So basically that is what here. What is it? JSON or XML for interchange of data. For interchanging the data, they use either JSON or XML. Next. For asynchronous communication, they use a JavaScript object called as XML HTTP request. Finally, what we have, JavaScript to bring all these technologies together. So what is used? HTML, CSS, DOM, JSON, XML, HTTP request. All these are the same what you learned in your HTML classes here. There's nothing new here. Combining all these things together, what do you have? JavaScript. Are you clearer or not? Combining all these things, what you have is JavaScript. JavaScript is going to be present for you to combine all these things together here. So that's what exactly Ajax is going to do. Are you clear? Actually, if you want to implement this Ajax in your code, if you want to implement the Ajax in the code, we have a problem, guys. Okay, if you want to implement JavaScript in the code, we have a problem. Ajax in the code, we have a problem. What is the problem? This Ajax code varies from browser to browser. If I write some Ajax code for Google Chrome, that may not be executed under, it may not be executed on a different browser now. Are you clear? So if I implement for Google Chrome, I cannot use an Edge. So browser to browser, this implementation will vary. Browser to browser, this implementation will vary. Clearer or not? That is why, sir, then if the client may use different browsers, is it a pain for me to write all this code for me? Yes, really it is a pain for us. To overcome this particular problem here, jQuery, jQuery? jQuery is a JavaScript library actually. jQuery provides you the built-in support for Ajax. jQuery provides you the built-in support for Ajax. So if you use that jQuery and implement Ajax now, jQuery will take the responsibility of generating the code differently for each browser. Developer is not responsible now. Who will take care? jQuery will take care of it. Are you getting me? So you are a PHP developer, you'll use jQuery. You are you are just going to JSP developer, you'll use jQuery. Like the jQuery can be used by anyone now. But what are we? We are .NET developers, ASP.NET Web Forms. We are .NET developers, and what we are using is ASP.NET Web Forms. So in this case, actually Microsoft has still simplified for you. What still simplified? Without using the jQuery also, Microsoft only provided you a set of controls to you and saying you don't even require to write jQuery code. I'll give you some controls. Use these controls. These controls will take the responsibility of generating the Ajax code for you now. Are you getting me? When you drag and drop it, Xbox generating HTML code, the same way, drag and drop these particular Ajax controls, they'll generate all the jQuery coding for you based on the browser. That is the beauty of .NET. That's what your Microsoft applications are user friendly. So the main ideology of Microsoft, write less, do more. Write less, do more. Every time. It always the concept will be like this. You will less coding and it will do lots of things internally. See, we are manually writing all the HTML code now. See, going forward, I won't write this HTML code here. Next time, I'll use drag and drop only. Let it write the code. Understood me or not? So I'll be using drag and drop because starting to give you an idea about it, I'm just going to write the HTML, sorry, ASPX code manually. Yesterday, I typed it. But going forward, I won't type it again. What I use? Just a drag and drop is what I do. Okay. So basically, that's what the advantage of it. See, a variety of popular JavaScript libraries like jQuery provides built-in support and assistance in executing Ajax request. Classical web pages which doesn't use Ajax use it to reload the entire page if any content has to be changed. If any content has to change. ASP.NET provides us various controls for using Ajax in ASP.NET applications. And those controls will add a script to which is executed and processed by the browser without us implementing all the required logic. You don't require to implement the logic now. Okay. In the toolbox, we find the tab with Ajax extension, and under that we'll find Ajax controls provided by ASP.NET for us to consume. Last class I shown you, remember? In the toolbox, we have different categories of the things there. I've shown you Ajax extensions. Under the Ajax extensions, you'll be finding 5 controls here. You can use those 5 controls to implement Ajax in your applications now. Okay, so we'll do it. Yesterday, see, every click of the button was submitting the page to server now. Today we'll go to change the code. The button click will show you the response, but page won't be submitted. Are you getting me? Click of the button, text box will update the data for you. But what you will notice, page won't be submitted, but still the response will be coming back to you with the help of Ajax. So shall we use that? Come on, let's do it. I want this table's code to be posted back without a post back. Yes, I want an Ajax call here. What I want? Ajax call. If that is the case here, you're required to add the Ajax controls on your code. What are the Ajax controls? Look, man, open the toolbox. You can see the Ajax extension controls here. Pointer, under every tab you will find pointer. Have you noticed it any time? Actually, what that pointer is basically to set back the pointer, that's all. Just if you click on anything and see, it changes the icon, this pointer is back to the original pointer cell. That nothing with that. Under every tab, pointer will be there. Okay. These are the 5 controls. What are the 5? Skip manager proxy, timer, update panel, update progress. First one I'm using is skip manager. What is skip manager? Actually, this is the main control that is required for using Ajax in your application. This is the one which is responsible for generating all the code. Compulsory, you need to add a script manager on your page now. Okay, to use Ajax. So drag it, drop it. There is a script manager now. There is a script manager. See, generated code, script manager, ID, script manager, run it is equals to server. Okay, now, next. What content has to be updated now? What content has to be updated, man? My table code, text boxes in the table, these particular table content should be updated. What content should be updated? What content should be updated? That code should be present under a control called as update panel. What is that? Update panel. Add the update panel. This is the update panel, guys. This is the update panel. Under that, you need to put your table now. How to put the table? You need to add one more tag, man. Content template. And now, copy this one. Copy the whole table and put it under that now. So observe it, all of you. How did I write? First, what you have? script manager. Afterwards, inside the update panel, content template. Under that, our table is there. Right? Run the page. So what is script manager? This is compulsory to generate your script code. What is update panel? The name itself is telling you what should be updated. That should be under the update panel now. You want to update a particular section now. That should be in the update panel. What should be updated should be in the update panel. Okay. So all of you can just observe. I'm filling the data in this. I'll click on the button. Sorry. Data got deleted. Data got deleted here. That's the format exception. There is an exception, not an error. Just 100, 0. Oh, yesterday we have auto refreshing on the page now. That is disturbing us now. Did you understand what happened? We have an auto refreshing on the page now. That is disturbing now. See, that only I said you last class. If auto refresh is there, what is the problem? You noticed it now? I'm entering, it is deleting now. That is the danger with auto refresh of the page. Okay, I said you, this auto refresh will be disturbing your work. It will be irritating for us. Okay, yeah. Now the auto refresh is not there. Come on, 100, 5. Shall I click on the add button? Check it out. You're getting the output, all the things. The page is not submitting. Concentrate on the refresh button. It is not submitting the page. Error or not? Looking like a poor client-side application now. No page submissions will be there at all. But still you will be getting up the output as expected. That is the beauty of Ajax. Got it? So 2 controls I used. What are the 2 controls? One is script manager. The name itself is telling you, man, script manager. They're responsible for generating the required script. That is required for generating the required script. Second one, the name itself is telling you, this will update any content under this will automatically update. It will update for you whenever it is submitted. Whenever the page is submitted, it will update. Okay, but it is not submitting the whole page, guys. What it is submitting is only partial. Means it will take the text box 1 value, text box 2 value, sends to the server in an XML format and gets the result from there and updates the text box. All this happens asynchronous. Means in the background, these actions are going to be performed. Clear or not? Okay. And third one, what is third control? The third control what we have here is script manager proxy. Do you know what the meaning of proxy? In English, what does the word proxy represent? Proxy. Absence means? Proxy duplicate. False presence means? Representative. A proxy means not a duplicate. Representative. See, you need to attend somewhere now. You need to attend for a meeting. On behalf of you, your friend attended the meeting now. On behalf of you, your friend attended the meeting. He is your proxy. He is the one who is going to talk about you there now. Are you clear? In a court, a lawyer is your proxy who will talk on your behalf. Am I right or not? So what is a proxy? A representative. Okay. What is a script manager proxy? Script manager proxy is a representative for the script manager now. Understand? Script manager proxy is a representative to the script. Listen, why do I use that? Going forward, we will learn about this concept in detail. What that is? I have a website here. In my website, 100 pages are there. Generally, you notice in a website, you have 100 pages. All the pages will have same header, same footer. Yes or not? Will you design that also 100 times? We don't design that 100 times now. We have a concept called as layout pages. What do we have? Layouts. We design the layout actually. We design the layout and the layout is merged with the actual page. See, I have 100 pages. All the 100 pages want the same header and same footer. What we do? We design a new page called as a layout page and merge it with the 100 pages. All the 100 pages will add the layout now. Are you clear or not? Tomorrow on a layout page, I use the script manager. On a layout page, I use the script manager. Now my page will combine with the layout page now. My login page is there, your layout page is there. On the layout page, I have a script manager now. My login page should be merged with the layout page. Are you clear? On my login page also, I want Ajax. So no need to use one more script manager here. In that place, what we use is script manager proxy. On the layout, what do you have? Script manager. On the login page, what do you have? Script manager proxy will be there. Actual script manager is on the layout and proxy is present in the login page or registration page or some pages. You will have the script manager proxy. And we'll understand about this in the master pages. When we talk about a concept called as master pages, will teach you what are layouts, how do we design the layouts and all the things. Third one, timer. What is timer? Right now, when I click on the button, the text box is updating now. But what about cricket score? Updates automatically for every 3 seconds, 5 seconds. Timer. That is the one which will do the work for you. Timer. If you use this timer and set the timing now, sub-interval now, 3 seconds. Every 3 seconds, without you asking, it will go to server, contact, and get the values. Understood about the timer? To do the work implicitly. Sir, yesterday we used meta tag. Meta tag will refresh the whole page, man. But this is going to update only the update panel only, not the whole page. What is the update? Only the update panel will be updated regularly at some interval. That is what the job of the timer. Okay. What next? Update progress. Actually, people doesn't have patience. Agree with me? People doesn't have patience. Why I'm telling this, you are using a website, you clicked on a button. You're not getting any response. When you go and get any response, your brain will be thinking, why I'm not getting a response, and you go click off and refresh button, that button, this button, you go click off all these things now. Yes or not? But wait here, it is doing some work in the background. Wait, you'll get a response. Why you're worrying up? How to do that? That is update progress. See, in your YouTube, the buffering will show you now. That is called update progress. So the update progress is to show you about that only. Yeah, wait, don't click off on that and this. Something is happening in the background. So once it is completed, we'll show you the output. Because, see, generally, if you use a full page post back, then what we'll see, the page reloading we'll see on the header. If you see anything is reloading, then you will see here. Here you will see, like, waiting, something is happening. But when you use Ajax, page is not getting submitted. I won't see anything on the top now. So then on the page, I should show you. On the page, I should show you. What is it? Some revolving, some circle revolving like this to tell you, wait, it is doing your work in the background. That is called as update progress. Are you clear? These are the 5 Ajax controls what we have. Script manager proxy, update panel, timer, update progress. All these 5. Okay, we'll use them here. Timely we'll use them. But today we use the 2 controls. What are the 2? Script manager, update panel. See, to resolve the problem in our previous page, use ASP.NET Ajax controls, and to do that, rewrite the code that is present in the div tag of the 2 pages. What? Calculator 1 and calculator 2 as below. I'm not giving the whole code again, guys. Watch it, what I given you. Script manager, below that. Update panel, below that. Now you want the table there? Bring the table into that one, and you're ready with Ajax. That's it. Is it clear? And this makes you ready with the Ajax now for you. So that's how you can resolve. In both the pages, try using now. So what you'll see? You won't see a full page submission. What do you see? Partial page submission. But page won't be reloaded. Page won't be reloaded for you in this case now. Understood the advantage? Yes or not? Okay, that is the advantage of using Ajax. Well, with this, we covered with the label control. Labels are used in a text box, sorry, button. I explained about button in detail for you. 2 sessions I focused on button, talking about each and everything now. Text property, on client click, auto postbank, sorry, postbank URL, command name, command argument, click, command event. 7 members, what I explained to you how to use all these things now. The next control, what we are going to learn is about the text box control. There is a text box control. Guys, in HTML, you say input type is equals to text. You create a text box. How to create a checkbox? Open the mouth here. Open the mouth. Input type is equals to checkbox. Radio button. Input type is equals to radio, not radio button. Radio. Input type is equals to radio. Date time ticker. Date time. Input type is equals to date time. A color dialog. Input type is equals to color. I remember that 22 or 23 input types available. 22 or 23 input types that are available. Default is text. Correct now? Okay. ASP.NET controls provide you. ASP.NET provides you text box control, guys. What is the use of this? We use this control. We use this control for taking input from the user. Already in the previous example, unknowingly we used it already. We already used the text box in the previous example. Yes or not? But what I'm trying to tell you now, we can use this control in 16 different ways. How many? 16 different ways. What is it? Single line text, multi-line text, password, date, color, time, week, like this, like URL, search, telephone text box. Okay, so like this, how many options are there? 16 options are there. And these are the 16 options what it has. First one, what is D? Default. Whenever I say D in the braces, remember that is the default. Second, multi-line text box, text area, password text box, color picker. You can pick a color. Next, date time local, week, month, time, URL, email, number, range, search, phone. What is missing here? What is missing and what is extra? Multi-line is extra. In HTML, we don't have input type is equals to multi-line here. Text area separate control is here. Correct now? We don't have check. We don't have radio. We don't have hidden. These are not there. In HTML, we have all these things now. What not? Submit. Reset. Button. Okay? Still. Checkbox, radio, hidden. Got it? These are not there here. Because hidden is a separate class, checkbox is a separate class, radio button is a separate class. Like this, we have separate. So button is separate class already, you know that. Image button is a separate class already, you know that. Not there means separate classes are there. So implementation is only for 16 now. Extra 15 only. Multi-line is extra added. In the existing, 15 are taken as it is. Additionally, multi-line has been added there. Are you clear? How to specify, sir? How to specify what I want? There is a property called as text mode. The text mode is a enumerated property. Remember enumerated properties? A property with a list of values to choose from. For city property we defined, remember? So it provides you all the 16 options to you. Pick what you want. Default option is text. That is why last class our controls behaved like a text boxes, single line text boxes. And I see, man, they behave like single line text boxes now. I want a password text box. Then say text mode is equals to. Look, guys, enumerated property. I shown you the same with the city property. When you say city, automatically all the list of values came for you to choose. Same now. See, giving you all the list of options. Whatever you want, you select the appropriate thing. Don't select anything. single line. And right now, ours is single line. Ours is single line in the context now. Are you clear about it? Understood about text mode? Second, you know this now. I want my text box to be non-editable. I want my text box to be non-editable. In HTML, we directly have an attribute called read only. Same, this is also same. Next one. Actually, we need this when we set the mode as multi-line. We are setting the mode as multi-line. Then it will ask you how many rows you want. Multi-line, multiple rows now. How many rows you want? You can tell. Next one. What is it? In a text box here, I want to accept the password, and password cannot be more than 16 characters. Password cannot be more than, then stop it after 16. Why are you allowing him now? Max length. Set the max length as 16. It accepts only 16 characters. Next, auto postback. This is an interesting property. What you need to understand here. Listen. Except button control, remaining controls are not capable of submitting a page to server. I repeat, guys, except button control, button, link button, image button, only these three. Only the button family is capable of submitting a page to server. But tomorrow I have a requirement. What is the requirement? There is a checkbox, man. If I select the checkbox, it has to submit to server. Understood? If I select a checkbox, it has to submit to the server. If I uncheck a checkbox, it has to submit the page to the server. But who is capable of submitting the page to server? Button family only is capable. Not only button family here, in ASP.NET, what they done is, this capability was given for all controls. But default only to button family. Remaining controls also capable, provided you set this property. It's a Boolean property, default value false. It's a Boolean property with a default value false. Now, if I say auto post back true, what will happen, It will submit the page to servers. Tomorrow, for a checkbox, I'm setting auto post back true now. And I set the checkbox, it will submit the page to server now. Same way, text box also will submit the page to server. When the text is changed. You're entering something now. It has to submit the page to server. That is called auto post back. Then you require to set up the property. Last one. What is that? It's an event, guys. It is an event. What event? When will it fire? The name itself is telling you, when will it fire? When the text changes. You're changing the value in the text box here, event will fire now. That's called as a text change event. And that is the default event. See? When the text property changes now, when the text changes, automatically this event will fire. Button click. For a text box, it is test changed. For a checkbox, it is checked changed. Checked change means you're changing the state of the selection now. Checked, unchecked. That is called as checked changed. This is the event. Understood all? I'll show you how to use all these particular things. I'll show you. Watch. I'm adding a new page, guys. Observe it. I'm adding a new page. Colordialog.aspx. Colordialog.aspx. Inside I have div tag. Let me delete it. Now I'm writing some content here. What I'm doing, I'm adding a div tag of my own. Under that, I'm using a break tag. Oh, by div. Just a minute. Okay. I'm just using a div tag. Under that, some break tags I added. Okay. And here I want to just use some static text like change color. Yesterday to display this, we use the labels now. Without using label, you can type of static text directly there. Without using a label, you can directly type of the static text. And here I want to add a text box. ASP colon text box. ID is equals to txt color. Run it is equals to server. Guys, observe it. Run it is equals to server. Okay. So for this div, guys, I want to write some style code. I want to write some style code now. I just want to write some style code. Style background hyphen color. I'm just trying to give some color now. Aqua. Okay, run and see. I did not do anything great there. Simply I have added your div taxi. Div is a container. On that I added your change color and a text box. I added some break tags now to make it bigger in size here. Just to make the panel bigger in size, I use it the div break tags there. That's all. Nothing other than that. So it looks bigger. Okay. If I don't use this break tags here, see, delete. That's how it looks. Without just overlapping, what I done is I added you some break tags there. That's all. Okay. Now this is a normal text box, correct now? I want to make it a password text box. I want to make it as a password text box. Come on, come here and write down. Text mode is equals to password. Save it, go refresh. It's a password text box now. It's a password text box. Okay. So something I type here randomly, it's a password text box. Yeah. Next, you want to use it for accepting a email ID. You can say email. Or you want to accept a date. You can say date, time, local. Date and time I want. Date, time selector. The date and time selector is automatically coming for you now. Like different options are there. I want to use it for choosing a color. That is Ajax again. You will learn in MVC. Text mode is equals to color. A color palette. See, it is changing dynamically for you now. So just what you require to specify is only the text mode. The text mode is what you require to specify in this context. Are you clearer or not? The text mode is what you require to specify in this case now. So I have a requirement here, guys. What is the requirement, Let me come to the style tag here. Remove the style of my div tag. Remove the style of my div tag. Okay. Now, whenever I change the color in my color dialog, that color should be the background color to my div tag now. Now div doesn't have any background color, see? No background. There is no background for the div tag, right? So what you're expecting? What I'm expecting is I will select a color. And whatever color I select, that color should become the background color to my div tag now. I want it to happen dynamically. Understood or not? See, you're changing a color. And that is text changed. You're changing a color, that is text changed. So let me write the code. Which event? I said you now only, and again you put blank races. Text changed. What is the event? Text changed. Come on, let us go to the events. Which event? Text changed. And when will this event fire? I said you read the description in the bottom. The text change now. Automatically this event will fire. Are you clearer or not? Okay. So this event is going to fire for you automatically inside here right now. Okay. So fine. Now actually to generate it, default event only now. If I double click only, it should generate now. Double click. Are you clear? Okay. So now you just watch the appropriate thing. You have got this one now. What do you want to do? You want to change the background color dynamically. But if you want to change the background color, what should I do? I need a style attribute for div tag. What do I require? Style attribute for the div tag. Run and see the HTML. Does it have a style attribute? Does it have a style attribute? Let us see. See, right click, go to view page source. Come on, check your div. Do you have a style attribute? You don't have a style attribute now. Did you observe it? There is no style attribute in this particular case now. Okay, so this is what, but I want the style attribute to be added now. I want the style attribute to be added. I want the style attribute to be added in this particular case now. And I want to do that dynamically, not static, man, dynamic. User selector color should be set as a style now. Which control? For which control you want to add the style? Div. For the div tag. You want to do it for the div. Guys, listen. All of you, observe it. For this div, I added one attribute. See? Why do you use this attribute? Is if I use this attribute, I can access it in my CS code. If I don't use this attribute, I cannot access in my CS code now. Watch it, all of you. Let me remove the div, run it attribute. Okay? Just watch. What is the name? Div1, right? Div1. Not coming in the list, see? But all of you observe here, form1. You ever run it attribute or not? So you can see now. Form1. Form1 is in the list. You want to div also here? Then come on. Run it equal to server. Come here and write down div1. Not saved, huh? Not saved, that's all. Div1. Just understand, man. Simple English here. Div1 dot. Can you understand that? Array, simple English here. What is that? Add an attribute to the div now. Add an attribute. Which attribute you want to add? Come on. Attribute name. Attribute name. Second one, attribute value. What is the value you want? What is the value you want? Background color, colon, some color. What? User selected color. Come on, write the same thing only. Background hyphen color, colon. And now the color value should come here, right? What is the color value? TXT color dot text. TXT color dot text is the color. Are you clear? This is going to add this attribute dynamically now. This is going to add this attribute dynamically based on the user color selection. Based on the user color selection. Okay, run the page. So right now I don't have a style attribute here. But what I'm doing now is I'm coming here, I'm selecting a color, and I'm expecting the color to set here now. But not working. Not changing. Why is it not changing? Server side coda, client side coda. Interested or not interested? I'll stop the class, go and sleep. Open the mouth here, irritating. Side client side or server side? Server side code. Yes or not? Then without submitting the page, why will the code execute? Use your common sense, man. Server side code will execute only when the page is submitted. Is the page submitted? Code is not executing. Code is not executing. Are you clear? So what should I do now? See, listen. Here, let me come here. I will add a button, man. I'll add a button. Just watch. I'll add a button. I'm not writing any code for the button. I just added a button there, that's all. Okay, run again. Run again. Select a color. select a color, click on the button, the color is set. See. Clear? Come on, go and see the source code now. I added the style attribute dynamically. Are you clearer or not? I added the style attribute dynamically. Understood? And that is what you just done that. I added this particular style attribute dynamically in this particular code. Okay. So how did I do that? I written the code in the text changed event. I written the code in the text changed event. In the text changed event, I was implementing this particular code for you. Are you clearer or not? Okay, so that's what I have just done for you in this case. In the text changed, we are setting up the style attribute and done it. But everything is okay. But you have doubt here. What is the doubt? So this logic is not under button click now. So why is it executed in the button click? Understood? Answer me. This logic is not in the button click. Why is it executed in the button click? Listen. Actually, when I change the color, event fires. When I change the color, event fires. But unfortunately, Textbox is not capable of submitting the page to server. Textbox is not capable of submitting the page to server. So the event will be in the cache. The event will be stored in the cache memory. It will be stored in the cache memory. Event filed and it has to run the code, but not capable of submitting the page to server. So what happens? The event will be in the cached state now. When I click on the submit button, now it hits the server now. The cached event will fire now. The cached event will fire now. And we call this as cached event. What is it? Cached event. We simply understand. Event fired, but the page is not capable of submitting the page to server. Then what happens? The event gets cached. The event gets cached. Are you clearer or not? And all these cached events will fire next time the page is submitted to the server. Next time the page submitted to server, the event is going to fire for you. Are you clearer or not? Understood? We call that as a cached event. See, tomorrow you have 3 text boxes here. Every text box you return the text changed event and writing some logic now. All the text boxes text changed event will fire. But page is not submitted now. The logic won't execute. So all the 3 will be stored in the cache. Now when I click on the button doesn't have any logic. Did you notice or not? What is the button doing? Submitting the page. When it's submitted, all the cached events will start firing one after the other. All the cached events will start firing one after the other. Clearer or not? Sir, I don't want like this. I want when I change the color, only change the color for me. I don't want to click on the button again now. Or I don't want this button here. I don't want this button. What I want? When I change the color, why don't you change me the color again? Yes or not? Array, if you want to do that, text box should submit the page to server now. Who has to submit? Then set the property. What property? Auto post back is equals to true. Are you clear? Now see, button is not there. Check it out here. Button is not there. Now I'll select a color. I'll select a color, but not changing. I want it to happen. Okay, not a big deal, man. Come here. Write down. What? Auto post back equals to true. Now text box will get the capacity of submitting a page to server. Then there is no cached event. Immediately it will submit to a server and executes the logic on the server. Shall I select a color? Change of C. And all of you concentrate here. I'm selecting a color. Now I'm coming out of this and concentrate on the refresh button, all of you. Submitted or not? I don't want to see a submit like this. Ajax. Use Ajax again. And you won't see that refreshing of that particular thing now. Shall I? Put this div tag under script manager. Next, update panel. Next, content template, and bring the div code into it. Bring the div code into it. Run. Did you notice the refresh button did not blink now? Yes or not? So working like client-side code only, but not a client-side code. It is pure server-side logic. A pure server-side logic, but giving like it is giving an appearance to all like I'm executing client-side only. Understood or not? Okay, it's giving an impression to everyone like I'm executing client-side, but it's not executing client-side. It's executing on the server side and getting the update of it. Is it clear, all of you? So that's what. So are you clear about text mode first? I can use it in different varieties. Are you clear about auto postback now? Read it. The default value is false, man, but set as true. This control gets the capability of submitting the page to server. That is, it can perform a postback. Generally, by default, button family is only given the permission to submit. Rest of other controls can also submit, provided the auto postback property is set as true. Not only text box here. I said for text box now. Tomorrow we have this for checkbox also, radio button also. Every control has this particular feature. Go and see in the property list, man. For text, for button you won't see. For button you won't see. Why, sir? A button itself is designed for submitting, man. Why you want to set auto postback again for that? But remaining controls are not designed for submitting now. Generally, text box is there. When we change the text, we don't expect to change something. But see, color dialog, when we select something, automatically should update. Here, auto postback is mandatory. Am I correct? So set the property. What is the property? Auto postback. And did you understand about the event now? We have done code in that event only. We've done the code under that particular event only. Okay, guys, read the notes carefully and do it step by step. See, initially, what did I do? See, add a div tag, a color. By default, I did not set any property like auto postback or anything. See, what I set is only text mode color. Now go to design view of web form. Double click on text box to generate a text to change the event. For it will generate the event handler and write the appropriate code now. Okay. Handler, not handlers. This is a code. Simple code means div1 dot attribute. And did you understand div1 is accessible in the CS code? Why, sir? Because we used the run at equal to server. If I don't use the run at equal to server, div is not accessible in the CS. Okay. What attribute? What is the value? Background hyphen color concatenated colon concatenated the color value here. Read. Will not change even if we implemented logic under the text changed event of text box, because text box control is not capable of submitting the page to server. And to resolve this problem, selecting a color in color dialog, we need to click on a button we placed below. Did I add a button here? I think I missed a button. Yeah, I added. Yeah, I added the button. I thought I missed that code. Okay, sorry. Because text box control is not capable of submitting page to server, and to overcome this problem, in color dialog, we need to click on the button we placed below, which will submit the page to server. And then the logic we implemented in text box event of text box will execute. The logic will execute now. Okay, now next. That only we raise the question. When I select something and click on the button, how is the logic executing? There is no logic under button click. Actually, we did not write this logic in button click. We written the logic under text changed. We written this logic under text changed. How is this logic executing? Come on, read this. What do we call it? Cached event. The event will be in the cache here. Will not execute now. Next time when the page goes to server, see, I have 10 controls having the events, but not capable of submitting the page now. So all the 10 controls will put this in the cache. Now the next time when the page submits to the server, all the cached event starts executing one after the other. Got it? What is the cached event? Which gets processed when the page is submitted to the server by a postback. Where processed when the page is submitted to the server by a postback actually. Okay. Next, in our previous example, if you want the logic to be executed immediately after changing the color without waiting for the button to click, do the following. Step 1. First, delete the button on the form first. Second, set the auto postback property of the text box as true so that this control will get the capability of submitting the page to server immediately when the text, that is color, is changed. Are you clear? Try in the way I said you. First add a button. See the problem. Understand the problem first. Okay, then think, how can I resolve this particular problem? So go, what you will do now? Remove the button. Set the auto postback true and execute again. Okay, why I said you in the first one with the button? To make you understand about the cached event first. Here you need to understand about a concept called as cached event. All these things you will come across when we are talking about the page life cycle. Page life cycle. What is page life cycle? This is one of the important concepts in ASP.NET which will teach you how the page is processed by a server. Which will tell you how the page is processed by a server. And we cannot understand this in the starting classes only. That's why I did not tell you. You need to understand about master pages, all these particular things. If you know, then only you can understand about the page life cycle. That's why I did not explain about the page life cycle for you in the initial classes. Is it clear? But every point I'm telling you right now, we will touch that in the page life cycle. Again, on that day, I'll say, cached event also. Even don't put a blank phrase. What is cached event now? Are you clear? Understood about the text box control? Clear? Okay. We'll see some few examples now about postback submission, cross-page submission and all. I already explained the concept, but blank, I just only put 2 buttons and showed you. Not like this. Design a login page now. Let's design a login page. I want a login page. Whenever a user clicks on the submit button, what should happen? Go to the server. Actually, database coding should be done for validating. We don't have to work with the database. For the time being, imagine username is admin, password is admin. Let us consider username is admin, password is admin. If the username is admin and password is admin, it has to show me a message, valid user. Otherwise, it has to show me a message, invalid user. Are you clearer or not? So what is my plan is, I want to create a table. Listen carefully. I want to create a table with 4 rows, 2 columns. First row, enter name, text box. Second row, enter password, text box. Third row, merge the 2 columns and put 2 buttons, login, reset. Login button, reset. Fourth column, merge the 2 and then I want a label. Label, what? Just a label here to show valid user or invalid user. If you correct the credentials, the label has to show valid user. Invalid credentials, the label has to show invalid user. That's it. How many rows? How many columns? First and second row has 2 columns. Third and fourth row has one column only. Understood or not? See guys, I am going to design this using the design view today. Watch, I'm not using the source. Array, till now I manually typed in the source view. I'm not using the source view, concentrate. I'm using the design view to do this. Let me add a new web form. I'll name it as login form. There is no on change here. It is text change. Yeah, in HTML, it on change. Yes, I said cached only. I shown you in the notes also cached event. Want the div color to change? Only the text box color. We can use update panel in div only now. What is that? I don't want the div color to change. Only the text box color. We can use the update panel in div only now. What is that here? What did you type? Did anyone understand this? I don't know what you're trying to ask. You can change any color you want. I changed the div color. You want to change the body color? Change it. You want to change the text box color? Change it. Whatever you want here. If I said div, you should change div only. Yeah? See, I said you how to eat. I said you how to eat some pizza. We need only pizza. You understand how to eat now? You can eat anything now. Understand the concept here. You are sticking to that particular thing only. I showed you how to change it too. You want to change the button color, panel color, or you want to change the text box color, write whatever logic you want. We have not Ajax problem here. I used Ajax now. We don't have an Ajax problem here, but tomorrow you need it, you can use. I said you, that's all. I did not say using Ajax is mandatory here. What I said you, if you want this to happen without reloading the page, use Ajax, I said. Here, it's not mandatory. It's your choice only. If I set auto postbacks is false to button control, then button is not submitting to server now. Can I change like this? Are you hearing the class? I said you clearly, there is no auto postback for a button. I said or not? Auto postback is present only for other controls, not for button. Button doesn't have auto postback at all because button is designed for submitting. So you don't have an auto postback for a button control at all. When we clear the cache, will it redirect to default? How can you clear the cache? It is not your mobile memory to clear. It is not your mobile memory to clear. You cannot clear the cache. Div only inside of update panel. See, update panel. You can please put anything in the update panel here. In the previous example, did we put a div? In the calculator example, did we put a div in the update panel? Or did we put table? What control you put, that control will react for the Ajax. Here you put table text boxes. Text boxes are reacting for Ajax now. Now you put a div. Div is reacting. And compulsory that should be an update panel only. If it is outside the update panel, understood? It is outside the update panel, page submission should happen. Not partial submission. Understand the meaning correctly. What should happen? Page submission, not partial submission. Page submission means whole page. Partial submission means part of the page. So, if it is not an update panel, the whole thing has to be updated. No cache event concept. Why? Cached events are not there in the notes. Okay, I'll update it. I'll update after the class. I don't know why. The notes, why it is missing there. Okay, don't know what happened. I'll update the notes. Okay, no props. Yeah, what's the plan now? We want to create a login form. What we want to create is a login form. Okay, guys, we'll try creating a login form. What do you want in the login form? Name. First, I want a table, na? Okay, come on. Let's join the design view, man. Let's join the design view. Where am I now? Under div. Look there, you're under the div. By default, div is present here, na? If you don't want to do, delete it, yeah, no problem. That's just a container for styling. Mainly these tools are used for styling. Okay. So if you don't want, you can delete it. Yeah, I'm on the div now. On this, I want to create a table. Correct now? How many rows and columns? 4 rows, 2 columns. Correct? Go to table menu and go for insert table and tell how many rows and columns you want. 2 columns. Done. Click OK. Your table is ready. See, man, TD. Notice that? This is one TD. Second TD. You want to see the HTML code? Clear? Actually, it has a style class. What is it? Auto style one. What is that? Right now, the table is 100% extended. The table is 100% extended in this case now. Are you clearer or not? The table is 100% extended to the full size of your screen, and that's what exactly will happen for you. Why? If it is not having this style now, if it is not having this style here, suppose if I delete this particular style code here, so what is going to happen? You cannot see the table, man. You notice it? See there, the cells, you cannot notice them. 2 cells only present, but imagine 5 or 6 cells present. You cannot put your cursor in the cell first. Yes or not? You cannot put your cursor in the cell at all. That's not going to be possible. So that's why by default it will write you some style code for you. Once the designing is completed, guys, once the designing is completed, remove that style. Once the designing is completed, remove the style. Initially, don't remove it. Okay, now? Fine. Now, in the first text box, what do you want? Enter name. No need label, na. Direct static text we can give up. Second, enter password. In the first row, first column, second column, you want a text box, correct now? Come on, put your cursor there. Open the toolbox. Double click on the text box. Text box is placed in the same. Is a text box. Next. One more text box. Okay, now? You want to make it password now? F4. Password. Setting it as password. Next, the third row. Third row, I want to merge them. I want to merge them. Select both the cells at a time here. How? In Windows, if you want to select anything, click somewhere and drag it will select automatically. Na? Clicking on the first cell and dragging it now. See, 2 cells are selected or not? Yes or not? Right click. Modify merge cells. Right click, modify merge cells. And immediately these 2 cells are going to become 1 cell. Check. Yesterday you typed that. I'm doing the same for the last one also. Select the 2, right click, modify merge cells. Are you getting me or not? Okay, I'm just using up the merge cells concept here. Now, in the third row, I'm adding 2 text box. Sorry, 2 buttons. And in the fourth row, I'm adding 1 label. I'm adding 1 label. Up to drag and drop here, this is okay. But now I need to give names to the controls now. Now going to each control properties and setting the names all will be a little bit tough. It will be a little bit tough. So the best way to do is come to source. Come to source. Come on. Now do all the things what you want. I don't want the class attribute now. Simply I'll say align is equals to the table comes into the center. Come on. This text box. You want to give a name now. TXT name. this text box, txt password, this button, btn login, this one, btn reset. Okay, just a second. What the caption you want? Login. What the caption you want? Reset. Reset is the caption what I just want. This is a label, LBL message, something, some name I'm giving. Okay. Now run and see now, are you getting it as expected or not? No, that only said you run it first. You won't see the output as expected. Now start making the changes accordingly now. I want the two buttons to be in the center now. Put it in the run mode. Put it in the run mode. Come on, come here. Align is equals to center. Okay. I want the label to show the result. What result? Array, valid user, invalid user. So I want this output to be in red color. Right. But why are you showing that label now? The label text is show in the runtime, not now. So delete the text attribute. Delete the text attribute. See now, the label is not visible. Clear? Now I'm entering a username here, admin. I want to enter a password. I want to enter a password. Something like admin @123. Array, something, man, you just enter the password. Click on login, should login. Suppose I want to ask the email ID also. For example, just want to ask the email ID also. Add one more row. Add one more row. Shall we? Come on now. I'll do it from directly from here. Copy this row, man. Paste. Enter email. Or simply I will remove the enter key. Simply I'll say here username, here password, here email ID. Email ID. TXT email. Text mode. See now we use the different text modes now. Okay. Save. Refresh. The designing is the most important thing for all of you. I'm still not doing any colorings and all, but you must do all the appropriate things to make it. First thing is clean and neat. That is important. Afterwards, adding colors and all that is all secondary. First, it should look a clean structure. Okay, like alignments, margins. These things are very, very crucial and important. Okay, so what is that? I'm going to enter. See, this email ID as a built-in functionality for it. It has a built-in functionality. What is it? I'm entering hello world. Page won't be submitted to the server. It won't submit the page to server, man. The email ID failed. That's built-in functionality. No need to write logic for email. Because going forward, when you design applications, email validation is one important task for you all. Array, that ready-made, man, put the email text box over. Okay. Now, what I'm telling you, I want to check it. The username should be admin. The password should be admin #123. Email ID should be admin@nareshshetty.com. Some static values all I'm using. Okay. What is address? User ID? Admin. Password? Admin #123. And here admin@nareshit.com. When I click on the login button, if all these three are correctly entered, the label has to show me valid user, otherwise invalid user. Shall we implement the logic now? Till now we focus only on designing. Now the logic. Come on. You need to write the logic under login button as well as reset button also. Start here. If not, is post back. Txt name dot. By default, the focus should be in the name text box now. Come on, log in. If txt name dot text is equals to admin and txt password dot text is equals to admin hash 123 and txt email dot text is equals to admin @nareshit.com. If all these three are valid, lbl message dot text is equals to else invalid user. Valid user, invalid user. Now come to reset. What you do? Txt name dot text is equals to empty string. Txt password dot text is equals to empty string. Txt email dot text is equals to. We need to clear all the text boxes now. Correct? Without writing 3 lines, man, you can write like this. Understood? You are assigning empty string for all the 3 at a time now. In one line, you can write up this code. After clearing the text boxes, and when you click on reset, what is the meaning? User will start entering the values again now. Yes or not? User will start entering the values again. So what you'll do? Txt name dot focus. Set the focus back into the name text box. Run and watch everything what you have implemented. Admin @123 admin @nareshit.com. Invalid user. And all of you notice this one, except password text box. Except password text box, rest of all the text boxes are capable of maintaining the state of the values. Are you clear? Except password text box, rest of all the text boxes are capable of maintaining the state of values. Last line, both of you. Again, if I see you, I'll send you out of the classroom. I'm seriously telling something that you're discussing. Are you clear? Okay. So only password text box is capable of, will clear the value. But all the other controls will but in HTML, every control gets cleared. In HTML, every control gets cleared. But in ASP.NET, only password text box will be cleared. Come on, let's enter the correct password. Admin hash 123. Click login, valid user. Now tell me, it's a post-back submission or cross-page submission? I've shown you the example for post-back submission now. Earlier I explained you, but now I've given you a live example now. Yeah, this is a login page. Actually, I did not take you to another page now. I have just gone for same page. What is this? Post-back submission. We are doing a post-back submission in this context. Are you clear? Try this. Tomorrow I'll show you an example on cross-page submission. Means the first page you'll enter the value and receive them on second page, not on the first page. Got it, all of you? Second page will receive. How to do, we'll see in the next class. Let's stop here. We'll meet tomorrow. I'll show you in the next classes again how to create these tables. Meanwhile, you ignore this. You write HTML code. When we work with the databases, I'll tell you, Rakesh, wait. We did not start database programming now. Then I'll tell you. Notes download. Yeah, guys. Guys, actually, the Ajax things are updated here. Maybe you did not download the latest copy. You guys did not download the latest copy once verify. It is already available.